Hello there, I'm Nate, and welcome to Vintage Rails. So, this video is going to be a bit longer one. This is something I hope to do more on the channel, looking at old abandoned railroad remnants and what is left of railroads and what is being done to preserve them. So, this video starts off in Como, Colorado, at the Como Roundhouse and the museum. It was closed that day, so I wasn't able to get in. The next clip is a spot that's between Como, well, more like between Fairplay and Buena Vista, Colorado, where two railroads met, Colorado, Midland, and the Denver, South Park, and Pacific. Then continuing through Buena Vista, heading north and up to Tennessee Pass, and also seeing the Buena Vista Tunnels. That's the Colorado, Midland, and the Denver and Rio Grande Western Railroads. So, getting a little bit of each of the three major Colorado railroads of the early 20th century. So, without any further ado, and with introductions out of the way so I don't bore you to death, here is the video. Here in Como, Colorado, the Como Roundhouse. Did not catch it on a day when it's open due to scheduling and whatever else happens, but still wanted to see the place. Seen a lot of narrow gauge on this trip if you hadn't noticed already. Denver, South Park, and Pacific, Denver, Leadville, and Gunnison, and the Colorado and Southern. There's the 1881 Roundhouse. The last train went through here in 1938, according to the sign that's right in front of me, which I will show in just a minute. I hope the audio turns out okay here. Some various equipment that's in very rough shape. And here's the side of a tender. Y'all want to read that? Go ahead. Here's a sign for the Como Roundhouse. Just going over here, there's a whistle sign, milepost, and derail. So you can see it's pretty closed. An old coach, some gondolas, flat cars, old cattle cars, boiler equipment. Buena Vista Depot, either Colorado, Midland, or Denver, South Park, and Pacific. Closed. Is like a museum and such here. Says Buena Vista. Here, I'll get some wider shots as well. Sorry for the rough ride there. They also have a mock-up Colorado Midland caboose here. Seems pretty nice. Original crossbuck or railroad crossing sign from the railroad. Okay, so I hope you can hear this. These are the Midland Tunnels at Buena Vista here. There's one tunnel, another, and a third. And my parents are doing something a little loony over there, I can see, but I won't show you about that. So, yeah, I'm not going to be here really quick. There's also a fourth tunnel back there. So, Colorado Midland Railroad, like I said on the previous clips, built about 1887 and closed about 1920 between Colorado Springs and Glenwood Springs. And these tunnels were, of course, part of that system. That way towards Glenwood Springs and back behind me towards Colorado Springs. These are, and the only evidence really left of the railroad here is soot that's actually on the top of this tunnel. I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it is thick black soot from locomotive smoke. Coal burning locomotives through here. So that's about it for this, and hopefully I can get some more clips from another location. We'll see. Actually, right next to the railroad grade, which is about here, there is also the former Denver Rio Grande Western tracks, which have been out of service for a while. And right next to that, a river. So you had two competing rail lines here, the Colorado Midland and the Denver Rio Grande Western. My battery is about to go, so I'll see you in the next clip. Now we're here in Leadville for another piece of Colorado and Southern history. Standard gauge this time. 260 American Locomotive Company, Brooks Works, sorry, 280. Don't hash me in the comments, okay? Built for Colorado and Southern. So this line operated between Leadville, which is where I'm at, and the Climax, which was a mine up north. This was narrow gauge until about 1942. Originally built in the 1880s, and in 1942 it was converted to standard gauge. Let's see here. And in 1962 was the last steam passenger train here. Not passenger train, but last steam operation for revenue service on the Burlington route. And this is the locomotive that pulled that last train. There's another car here, just pulling in here. Cars parked around here, so it's a bit difficult. Very nice engine. And back around to the other side. (1906) Alco Brooks locomotive. Pulled the last revenue, or one of the last revenue trains by steam on a major railroad in the United States. 1962. Due to the elevation mainly. Diesels had a tough time at higher elevations, so they could only operate steam engines. Well, that's it. Okay. Some of you might guess where I am right now. For those of you who don't, this is the famous Tennessee Pass Tunnel. Bit of a drive and a bit of a rough road to get down here. So, quick abridged history about this. So, the first route through Tennessee Pass was built by the Denver and Rio Grande in 1881. Narrow gauge route at a different tunnel location. Later it was standard gauged, and in 1945 the tunnel you see here was built. The original tunnel, I have no idea where that's at. My dad's taking a picture of me over there. Hi. Anyhow, so these tracks here, of course, the Rio Grande became part of Southern Pacific in about 1988, 1989. And in 1996, Southern Pacific became part of Union Pacific, and these tracks are technically owned by Union Pacific. The last train that went through here was August 23rd, 1997, according to Wikipedia. I say my sources, and there hasn't been a train through here since. The tracks have been embargoed, which means not in use, abandoned, yet still in place, just in case if anything happens. So it's been about almost 24 years. This is late July I'm filming this, so another month and it'll be a full 24 years without trains here. Most of this is a single track line, goes near at a junction somewhere east of Glenwood Springs, down towards Pueblo, Colorado, behind the camera. So, no trains here for a long time. This was, at the time of closure, the highest mainline mountain pass in the United States. Highest mainline at about 10,000 foot elevation. That's what we're at right now, and I can feel the effects. I'm used to being close to the ocean, and it's very tiring with the lack of air, to be honest. So that's pretty much it for this clip and this part of the video, and I think the end of the video. So stay tuned for the next part. I'll be posting that very soon. And do like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all those good things. Comment down below, tell me what you think. I'm not sure how this is going to go together in the end, but whatever happens, happens. So, until next time, we'll see you in the next part, and in the next video, of course. And until that time, God bless.